Chelsea versus Arsenal, massive predictions. This is the biggest game of the weekend by a country distance. The big debates in this video: Caicedo versus Declan Rice. Are Chelsea in the title race? And we have to look at Arsenal as well, because if they beat Chelsea, and I'll give you my score prediction at the end of the video, they'll have had one of the most important, salient weeks in their modern history. And I'm not gassing when I say that, because they've smashed Tottenham in a way that is historic, really. Tottenham lose a lot of football matches against Arsenal, don't get me wrong, but 4 in the way that they didn't really have any XG at all except for the Richarlison strike. Then they've completely annihilated the champions of Germany in the Champions League as well. If they beat Chelsea away from home, which has been a tricky fixture if you take a wider look at the history books, it will be one of the best weeks Mick Arteta's ever had in his managerial career. Those are the big questions. Taking a look at the likes of Declan Rice, Madueke, could he come into the fold in a big way? Caicedo, Cucurella, Estevao. These are some juicy matchups in this game. The first question for the video: are Chelsea in the title race? Currently second, and no matter if they win the game 10-0, they won't surpass Arsenal. Arsenal are in a dominant position. And Chelsea should have the belief, because they are so ambitious in the transfer market. They are signing premium talent. And a lot of Chelsea fans, of course, frustrated that a lot of these guys are young. They're a little bit undercooked, underbaked in terms of, are they in their prime years to lift the Champions League trophy right now, lift the Premier League title? I'd argue they still are a little bit underdeveloped. They've still got key issues in that squad. When Arsenal can bring on 5 substitutes against Bayern Munich and they'd all start for Chelsea, that's the gulf in quality between the two sides, but it's getting a lot closer. I was massively impressed by Chelsea smashing Barcelona. It was an unbelievable performance and one of the best results clearly they've ever had since the new ownership, and certainly for Enzo Maresca as well. I have to say that Legend London provides some of the best fitting t-shirts I've ever worn. It completely fits into my active lifestyle. And when I'm going from podcast to podcast chatting absolute gas about football most of the time, Legend London fits into that lifestyle in a beautiful way. Legend London clothing line completely elevates my outfit. Once you wear something from Legend London, you never have to wear anything throughout the rest of the day. It's durable, it's comfortable, and it's got a great fit to it. I like my minimal black or white t-shirts, as you probably know from these videos. And Legend London provides some of the best going. Get your Legend clothing here with a massive 10% discount. The link in the description. Use the code X. Massively impressed by Cucurella. Massively impressed by Estevao. It's scary what we're seeing from that kid. And of course, Caicedo as well. If Chelsea go into this game with belief, I think Enzo Maresca has sometimes taken the oxygen out of the room. Maybe that's smart with a young squad. Last season, he talked down Chelsea's chances of winning the Premier League title when they were only a few points off the top of the table themselves. And that's when Liverpool kind of came out of nowhere and won a load of games and dominated the title race. And they won it quite early on in March of last season. If Chelsea can actually apply a little bit more ambition, stranger things have happened than Chelsea going on a mad run and putting Arsenal under massive pressure and being the only side that can beat Arsenal to win the title this season. I still think Manchester City are right there, have a far better squad, far better experience, obviously a far better manager as well. But if Chelsea can actually talk themselves up, build momentum, be ruthless, find a system where the likes of Liam Delap comes back and could score big goals for them, then this Chelsea side looked like a far better prospect. I have to say, when you see Gusto and Reece James in certain games in the last few weeks playing together, that right-hand side, including Estevao, has got a lot of freedom because Cole Palmer is obviously currently injured. It's very powerful. It's a really quality, high-level Chelsea right-hand flank. And on the other side, you've got someone like Cucurella, who's surely in the best form of his Chelsea career, let alone Brighton. He's one of the best left-backs in the world. Dare I say it, he's the second best left-back in European football. Seriously, I mean, I don't see many better. Maybe Calafiori. I still see him more of a centre-back. As a naturalised left-back, Nuno Mendes is far better than Cucurella. That's my only opinion. But apart from that, I mean, he's outstanding. He's so aggressive in the tackle. His link-up play is brilliant. And he provides unbelievable quality going forward as well. He's got an unbelievable engine. So Chelsea on both flanks going up against Arsenal can cause massive, massive damage. The big battle in the game will be Chelsea's midfield versus Arsenal's midfield, because Chelsea have got a really powerful midfield, creates a lot of chances. I think we can debate the qualities of João Pedro, the qualities of the likes of Garnacho Esteval and Neto, are they good enough to finish the chances that Caicedo really is single-handedly winning high up in the pitch, giving the ball off to the creative players, and sometimes they're a little bit wasteful, Gittins, for example, as well. But the midfield between Caicedo, Declan Rice, these are two of the best midfielders in world football in current form. And if Declan Rice is looking to have lung-busting runs, going into the Chelsea half, trying to disrupt the Chelsea back line, breaking between the lines, then Caicedo's got a big job to kind of man-mark him and squeeze him out of the game. And that's what I think will happen. We're looking at a Chelsea versus Arsenal midfield battle between Caicedo and Declan Rice. And that is very, very juicy. But Enzo Fernandez has been great in recent weeks when I've watched Chelsea popping up. Could have had a couple of goals in the Champions League as well. And you have to say, it's down to the midfield. And whatever you say about Enzo Maresca, I still think they've got massive issues in terms of, is Delap good enough right now to deliver major silverware for Chelsea? I don't know. But their midfields are coming along. Enzo Maresca understands the importance of possession. And I'll always go back to that. When I look at sides, are they good on the ball? Do they keep the ball well? And Arsenal versus Chelsea are two of the best sides at keeping the ball in the Premier League. That's why it could be a fascinating encounter in that regard. When you look at Arsenal, I've talked about at the start of the video, they've smashed Tottenham in a way that's basically not been seen in recent history in terms of the amount of goals that Tottenham conceded in the North London derby. Then you think Bayern Munich, who basically haven't lost a game this season, got absolutely pummeled by Arsenal's physicality. If they beat Chelsea, I still think they're favourites to do that. They've had one of the greatest weeks they've ever had, and they've given themselves a massive platform to go on and win the Premier League title because they're going to be massively ahead of Chelsea in terms of points, even more so than potentially Manchester City as well. And then you look at it and think, who else could actually win the Premier League title? And sometimes you don't have to be a generational side to win a title. You just have to be the best of the rest. Leicester City, even though the fairy tale was beautiful, of course it was, they were the best of the rest. They got a really low points total. They just were consistent. They scored big goals at big moments. Jamie Vardy was unbelievable. And maybe Arsenal don't need to worry about being better than the Invincibles, better than Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool side from 2019-20. Maybe they just need to get their head into a situation where they just grind out results, and I certainly think they can do that against Chelsea. Still got issues in their squad. A lack of Victor Gyökeres in this game could be an issue, and of course Gabriel, and that's where Chelsea will have to hurt them. But if Hincapié comes in, Mascara, who I think has been brilliant when he's played in recent weeks as well, the backup quality for Arsenal in this game is so good. And seeing Noni Madueke, former Chelsea player, come in and score his first goal in the Champions League, the quality off the bench for Mikel Arteta is the best he's ever had as a manager at Arsenal. And that could be the difference. If Chelsea is struggling, if it's 0-0, if it's tight, Arsenal can go into a different gear in the final 20 minutes in a way that Chelsea can't. I don't see the same quality coming off the bench. And if Arsenal can just, even if Esteval has the game of his life and is running things, which I think could happen, by the way, even if Caicedo's getting his foot on the ball and dictating things, as long as Arsenal keep it 0-0, they can just keep them at arm's length. They can be nicking points every single round like Usyk likes to do. Maybe you're not getting that knockout punch from Alexander Usyk, but you're just winning on points. You're doing a Klitschko, you're jabbing and holding. That's all Arsenal have to do in this kind of game. They don't have to prove anything to Chelsea. Their record against Chelsea in recent years is very, very good when it used to be really bad. The tides have turned in terms of who the better side right now. And you have to say, Chelsea would have to do something very, very special in this game to overpower Arsenal and stop them coming back in their own right. You look at Declan Rice. I saw a great tweet. Is he the best £100 million player of all time? Is he the only £100 million signing that isn't a flop in the history of football? I think there's a couple others. Maybe I'll do a separate video about that. But you have to say Declan Rice has been in the best form of his career, and you could see him scoring a big goal against Chelsea like he's done in recent seasons as well. I talked about Arsenal, Timber versus Reece James. These are interesting conversations. Who's the better right back? Let me know in the comments down below. But it's a massive testament that Jurrien Timber is so good. He's come back from a major injury that we compare him to Reece James. For me, he's not better than Reece James, but he's very, very close. He's probably a better centre back than Reece James. He's a better left back than Reece James, and Reece James is, I'd say, a better naturalised right back. When he's fully fit, he can do more on the ball going forward. Just as rugged physically than Timber, and just as smart on the ball. And that's where we are. Arsenal have got these players that are competing with Reece James, who is a Premier League great, 100%, and a Chelsea great, and a Champions League winner. And Jurrien Timber, for me, has been an outstanding right back this season, the best right back in the Premier League as well. So these are really interesting debates. Chelsea's players are getting better, but Arsenal ultimately have got 7, 8, 9. They've got a massive gulf in quality between Chelsea. I think there'd be 7 or 8 that would start in this Chelsea side from Arsenal. If we did a combined 11, you're looking at David Raya starting for Chelsea, Saliba, Gabriel starting for Chelsea. At right back, I think Reece James, Cucurella on either side. But in midfield, you're looking at Caicedo, Zubimendi and Declan Rice. Eze has to get in there. Gyökeres has to get in there. Saka has to get in there. There's no Chelsea forwards for me at start for Arsenal. Maybe Esteval off the bench. Cole Palmer when he's fit, but he's not fit right now. That would be interesting if he's coming from the bench to influence this game, by the way. He could be fit for the game, but maybe not starting. So ultimately, Arsenal are cut above Chelsea. As you can probably tell if you watched this far, I'm going for an Arsenal win. I don't see too much that Chelsea can do to win the game. Maybe they can nick a draw. But 2-1 to Arsenal is my final prediction. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe if you watch this far. I'll see you very, very soon.